6:30 here. I am taking a break from watching the World Cup. I haven't had a chance to watch USA versus Germany, so I actually recorded it and I was watching it, but I decided to actually do a Q&A because I finally got enough people to do one. This is my mini Q&A number 66. Thank you guys so much for sending me these questions. And let's get started with final limits. Dude, you have sent me a lot of interesting questions, and I'm going to get started on one that kind of caught my eye. Why do you think people hate Final Fantasy VIII's story of time compression, and what is time compression? I actually did look this up, so let's just get started talking about it. But this is in terms of Final Fantasy, and not really in terms in general, because I looked up the definition and it made my head hurt. But let's just talk about it here. Time compression is a concept of condensing all time and space into one single moment or singularity. It has been initiated into casting like casting a spell, which requires an incredible amount of power in behalf of the caster. Um, Pretty much it seems like that Ultimisia wanted to assimilate all creation into herself, then use her power to recreate whatever she wanted. So it's just pretty much like, I don't know, making the world into your image. And I would not be surprised if it got on underneath the craw of a lot of religious people. It sounds that way, that she was trying to recreate creation. So looking at that from that definition, I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of religious people were kind of up in an uproar over it. But for me, it's just a game. It's fake. It's not real. That's just me. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason why a lot of people didn't like it. But let's move on to another question. What fatalities do you think these characters from Final Fantasy VIII would have? Two fatalities each. I can probably tell you one. I would say Squall Lionheart, Final Flash, Fatal Flash, because Final Flash was Vegeta's last power move. Zell, Fist of Fury, Selfie would actually be the end. Renoa Hartley, whatever. Renoa's will probably be maybe Angel's Kiss. Seifer would be the um gosh. Seifer's would probably be Flashpoint. I don't know. I know that sounds lame, and I had something cool for Squall, but for Seifer, I keep thinking of Sephiroth. Every time I think of Seifer, I think of Sephiroth. But Seifer's will probably be the I can't think of anything, but yeah, I'll think of that. I think of Flashpoint or Fatal Point, Fatal Stab. I don't know. Flashpoint. Let's go with Flashpoint, even though it makes no sense. And of course, Ultimisia will probably be the Black Death, or maybe the Black Sleep. I'll call hers the Black Sleep. Because calling it Armageddon is just so overrated. But yeah, I'll call it the Black Sleep. But yeah, that's a great question, man. Great question. I know that I've messed up Seifer, but I couldn't think of anything at the moment. Um, Let me see. What did you think of Punk turning heel in '09 by cashing his Money in the Bank briefcase the same time he won at WrestleMania 25 on Jeff Hardy, after Hardy nearly killed himself in a TLC match and against Edge, and then lost the title to Punk. Um, Honestly, that was a great match. I I guess I was kind of okay with CM Punk winning the first time, expecting him to cash in on what he did. It didn't really phase me that much because you're kind of used to it. After Money in the Bank came out, you're kind of expecting that to happen. So it really didn't have a really huge emphasis on me. But I will say that I was disappointed that Jeff Hardy did not win, because I really wanted Jeff Hardy to win a belt, because he hasn't had one and he fought so hard to win one. So yeah, I was disappointed Jeff Hardy didn't win. That was the only thing I was disappointed at, not Punk. What did you think of the Straight Edge Society? Didn't care much for him, because it was like a bunch of people waving their fingers in your face saying you're not straight edge like us, whatever. And we know that CM Punk wasn't straight edge. But anyway, have you ever been bitten by an ant? If so, how painful and annoying was it? for those tiny cancerous bites. Um, I've been bit by ants more times than I can ever count. Every single time that I'm actually relaying sod where I work, it I get bit by fire ants every year. I work outside a lot, so I'm always getting bit by ants, and it's not fun. You come home and you're about to take a shower and look at your legs, and your legs are full of red, big blotches and big itchy ones at that. So yeah, I know how you feel. It sucks. It really does. Um, your next question for me is: have you ever been bitten by a spider? Or know anyone who has? I have been bitten by a spider right on the eyeball. Well, actually on the eyelid. My eye was swollen for 2 weeks. It sucked. Why doesn't Mr. Griffin do Q&As? That's something you should ask him. Send him an email, or actually send him something in YouTube. Send him something in his YouTube inbox and say, look, I want you to do a Q&A and send him some questions. He will answer them. He will do that. He's a cool dude. Have you ever played games with Girl? Yes, I have played video games with Girl. I think I played Mortal Kombat 9 with her. She loved it. She loves the fatalities. Seriously. She really does love Mortal Kombat 9. But great set of questions, man. Really great set of questions. My next set of questions comes from, dude, I will slaughter your name like it is nobody's business. So I'm going to call you the Shogun. And if you want me to call you another nickname, by all means, send it to me in my next Q&A. But I'm calling you the Shogun because I know I'm going to get it wrong. Are you getting Mortal Kombat 10 and have you seen a trailer for it? Yes! It is everything awesome. Like, it is so freaking awesome. I am not going to lie. It's probably going to be, they said it was going to be on 360 and Xbox One, but I would not be surprised if they reduce that and make it an Xbox One exclusive because Xbox One really needs more exclusives. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do it that way. Either or, by then I hope I have an Xbox One. So, but period, I'm getting it. If they have it for a 360, I'm freaking getting it. I'm playing the ever-loving crap out of that game. What did you think of Matt Hardy's TNA debut in January of 2011? I didn't care. I'm not really a big fan of Matt Hardy. He just seems kind of boring. He's not as interesting as his brother. What did you think of Hornswoggle when he first debuted in WWE? It made sense for him to be a leprechaun because Finlay was Irish, so I guess it just made sense. Even though it was racist, it made sense. But I thought it was a gimmick that was going to die out soon because he's the only dwarf in the WWE. But he lasted long enough to have at least a decent feud with El Torito, the only dwarf that was actually the second dwarf that was in the WWE. But he didn't last long either. Hornswoggle got cut. Shame. But great question, man. My next set of questions come from Kiko Pimbo. Sorry. What did you think? What did you think when Kane put jumper cables on Shane's testicles on Raw in 03? I was shocked. I was shocked that Shane allowed Kane to do that to him. But yeah, I was like, it's probably not hooked up to anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Ugh, that would be painful, and I'm not a dude. How'd you react when Jericho hit Stacy with a chair by accident? I was shocked, but not really all that shocked. Like, I really wasn't, because Stacy is a wrestler. And also with your next question you have for me is like, how did you feel when she was in the walls of Jericho? Like I said, she's a wrestler. She's trained for these things. It's something to be expected. Before they go off on the air, they probably actually had this whole thing already planned out. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But honestly, it didn't really shock me that much because she was a wrestler. The one thing that shocked me the most was when Jericho punched HBK's wife in the eye. That was the only time that I was like, ooh, because she's not a wrestler. She's just a wife of one. And that shocked the ever-loving daylights out of me. Like, seriously, I was like, for weeks. Seriously. But yeah, Stacy Keibler, it really wasn't much of a shock for me. My next set of questions comes from Regional D Huff. You're not related to me, are you? That'll be weird. What do you see yourself 68 years from now? I will see myself retired, living in a very nice house in another country with my husband in tow, and also seeing my grandkids as well as my children in a really big get together that we have. I will be enjoying myself. I will be in my hundreds, but I will be enjoying myself and loving life. And it's pretty much your second question is what year will it be 68 years from now? Um 68 years from now, honestly, I know I'm going to be in my hundreds. I know that. But I think, what is it? Like, it's 68 years from now from 2014. I am bad at math, so it's going to probably take me a minute. It's going to probably be like maybe the 22, no, 2082. So, yeah, like by that time, I'll be really, really old. But I'm not claiming old age. My eyes aren't gonna be dim. I may have a few gray hairs, but either or, I'm gonna be walking around like a 50-year-old. I'm claiming that right now. And my husband's gonna be just as young as me. Not that he's gonna be like in his 20s. No, I'm not pulling that card. But he's gonna be just as useful as me. Seriously, we're gonna have a ball in our 100-year-old age and enjoy life. And I'm not even claiming all that old stuff. But if you were a wrestler, what would your finisher and signature move be? Um, my finisher would probably be the wilderness, and my signature move will probably be the nature kick. I don't know. The nature grab, the nature hold. I don't know. Either or will have something nature in it. But great question, man. If you can transfer to any movie, what will it be and why? Um, if I was able to be in, I don't know. If I was able to shoot, if they came out with a decent Mortal Kombat movie, like a recent upgrade or recent reboot or whatever, that's based off of Mortal Kombat 9, I would love to be in that. They have a few black female characters in that. Shoot, I would love to be in a movie like that. That would be awesome. If you had a choice of getting these finishers performed on you, what would they be and why? DDT from Jake the Snake Roberts or RKO by Randy Orton? RKO by Randy Orton, and here's why. Jake the Snake Roberts is the creepiest, most scariest man on the planet, and he does not have to shout. Unlike all the wrestlers now that have to scream at the top of their lungs to be taken seriously, Jake the Snake Roberts never did. And not only that, he has freaking snakes. He has constrictors. He has a cobra. Look, I have no qualms and issues about snakes. I think they're cool, but I do not want a big, huge, giant python around me. I'd rather have a real hot man hands around me that will give me an RKO and I'll be fine. But anything that's animal related, things can go wrong. No, thank you. No, I don't really want a python around my neck. No, no, thank you. And my final set of questions comes from Little Fish. Okay, before I get started with this question, I don't want anybody blowing up on me about this. I know I said I wasn't going to ask any more racist questions, but that's racist and prejudice. This isn't. This actually is a question of curiosity. So I don't mind asking questions about me in a curiosity kind of way, not anything that's insulting someone's race or insulting my race or insulting my audience. Just giving a disclaimer right there. But anyway, let's get started with this question. What race are you and where were you born, and are you mixed with any other races? I'm black, pretty much, or African American, as some people want to be PC about it. But I have European, Asian, Caucasian, Native American, and African in me. So I have about maybe 5 races in me, pretty much. And I was born in Tennessee. So, I'm Southern regardless. I stayed there for 2 weeks. Okay, let me get a lowdown. I was born in Tennessee, raised in Georgia, lived in Florida, and I'm in South Carolina. So either or, I am Southern whether I like it or not. Seriously, I can't deny that I'm Southern. Like, period. I'm from the South. Where do you live? An apartment or a house? And do you plan on moving soon? I live in a very nice place. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna be too detailed. But yes, I live in a very nice place, and I don't know, maybe in a few years. Or I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. But maybe in a few years. Do you have kids or you plan on having kids? I don't have any children, but I do plan on having children someday, when I meet a decent guy that I will marry. But it's really no rush for me. Do you know that you look older than you look? You would be the first to actually say that. A lot of people have been telling me that I look like I'm in my 20s, my mid to late 20s. Um, I've been told by a lot of people that tell me that, and but you'll be the first that believe I look really, really old. I mean, I don't know what your definition of older is. If it's older, like in the 30s, okay, that's fine. But 50s, I don't think I look that old. But anyway, do you like Chavo Guerrero? Yeah, I think he's cool. And until if he kind of downgraded him and he started performing less. But then when he went to TNA, there was just too much Chavo. Has anyone ever told you that you look like the popular wrestling shooter Dalyxman? Yes. Too many freaking times. I'm not a dude, okay? These are twists. These are not dreads. I'm a woman, okay? I am 100% female. I am not a dude. I do not at all look like Dalyxman. Just because we have similar hair does not mean that I am the Dalyxman. Just letting you know right now. But guys, thank you so much for sending me questions. If you have any other questions to send me, by all means, send them to me via YouTube or on my Twitter at RKH30, hashtag NatureGirlQ&A. This is NatureGirl30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. I'm going back to watch the World Cup later.